Shabbat Shalom. Oh gosh, is anybody here? Shabbat Shalom. Oh, thank goodness. I was a little worried. You know, on holiday weekends like Thanksgiving, I always know that the room will have some folks come in, but I never know how many will, because people get tired and maybe even a little full, not just of food, but of socializing. But the good thing about coming here is that it's also a place and a time to just relax, take in, you fill in the blank, be together, sing, pray, and share that moment of bringing God's presence into our midst. So you might notice tonight that Rabbi Alfie looks a little different. Melissa McElhenney of the Sacramento McElhenneys will be joining us tonight on the Bima and delivering the drosh. But we thought since Melissa's doing the drosh, she can also do the page numbers.
7 years of higher education.
If your mic's not on, nobody can hear you. She's a little mic shy. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. There's so much to be thankful for, not the least of which is that some hostages have made it home. And I pray that the rest come home very soon, but it gives us some hope. And as we gather together, Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, how wonderful it is to be together, to come together in joy and in peace. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shabbat achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shabbat achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shabbat achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shabbat achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shabbat achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shabbat achim gam yachad. Before we can greet the Sabbath bride, let's take a moment to greet each other. So feel free to get up from your seats and say hello to maybe a couple of people you haven't met yet. So we continue. We continue with Lecha Dodi, with bringing in the Sabbath. With bringing in the Sabbath bride. We will be singing verses 1 and 9.
138.
You know, you may have a future.
Takes a village.
Lecha Dodi, likrot kala penei Shabbat, nekabla, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom mevorach, Shamor v'zachor, b'dibur echad, hishmi'anu el ha'meyuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shem u'tiferet v'liteila, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom u'mevorach, bo'ii v'shalom, ateret bala, gam besimcha, ufseolam, toch emunei, segula, boi chala, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom mevorach. Please be seated. So usually it's during the summer when we have smaller crowds that I like to, well, I think of our congregation this way anyway, that this is home in so many ways, and we do many of the I invite everybody to come to do the candle blessings so that we gather around the table as we would at home to light the Shabbat candles. So anyone who is comfortable and would like to join us, please do. The more up here, the better. It's a really lovely experience. And before the candle blessings, we are accompanied by angels and Shalom Aleichem.
Page 142.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei. Want to light it? Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bokem l'shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Let's all do it.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu
so we're all going to read this
you're on your
together.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Amen. See, isn't it nice up here? Barchuni l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, melech, malachei amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, melech, malachei amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Beautiful. See, when you're up here, you can hear all the harmony, and isn't it nice? Yes, we'll do services in the round. Thank you, everybody. I'll do that. Yeah. We continue our service. We rise for the Baruch Hu.
Page 146.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Please be seated. We continue with the Ma'ariv Aravim.
Page 148.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
Blessed are you, Adonai.
Together, please.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzavaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, HaMa'ariv Aravim. Page 150.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta Torah mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadtam Al kein Adonai Eloheinu V'shochveinu v'kumeinu Nasiach bechukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha U'v'mitzvotecha Le'olam va'ed Ki hein chayenu Ve'orach yameinu U'bahem negeh Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
We continue on page 154 with the Ve'ahavta.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'aderech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim leloechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. Amen.
Page 157. Please join me. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osei felem, nora tehilot osei felem. Won't you help me sing these songs of freedom? They're all I ever have. Redemption songs. Malchutecha ra'u banecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Zeli anu ve'ameru These songs of freedom, they're all I ever had. Redemption songs, redemption songs, redemption songs. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Please turn to 160 for the Hashkivenu. Please join me in English. Grant us, O God, that we lie down in peace, and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, haporeas sukkot shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, va'al Yerushalayim.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. We rise for the tefillah, beginning on page
164.
Adonai sefatai tivtachu fi agidei latecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol, Atah Rav le'oshia. Mashiv haruach umorid hagashem. Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim verofeh cholim, Umatir atzurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishanei afar, Mi chamocha ba'gevurot, Umido melech, Melech mimit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'emonata lechayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. We continue silently through page 180 in the prayer book or with the prayers of your heart, standing or sitting, as is your custom. lechol hashalom, ki ata hu melech Adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Makam Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam.
Page 180. No?
No, but that's good. It's a good page.
It's written here.
It is written there, but we're not going.
We're not doing
We're
it.
not going there. Okay.
We're not going there.
Instead, this is the moment in our service where we remember those in need of a healing of body, a healing of spirit, a healing of soul. It's one of the things that I love about our service and our prayers, that no matter where we are, we bring with us those who can't, those who are in need. We include them not just in a prayer for healing, but in our prayer experience, in our community. And so we continue with this Mishaberach Lecholim that can be found on your flyers. Mishaberach Avoteinu Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov. Mishaberach Imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Bless us with the vision for tomorrow. Help us to reach out to those in pain. May the warmth of friendship ease our sorrow. Give us courage, give us faith, show us the way. Mishaberach Avoteinu, Mishaberach Imotenu. hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Melissa, I do have to say it's fun having you on the Bema.
Thank you, Cantor.
It's really nice. Because normally you'd be sitting down there and then I'd have to introduce you and then you'd have to get up and walk all the way. But
All the
you're
way up the
already
stairs,
here.
yeah.
So
And you can hear me better up
I
here.
can hear you really well up here. Yeah, it's good. I've known Melissa for a long time.
Almost 30.
Don't say that out loud.
Okay, sorry.
And she always has something interesting and wonderful to say and tremendous insight. So I'm looking forward to hearing your drash and what you have to teach us.
Thank you.
Have some water if you
I thank you. Shabbat Shalom. Last week, Rabbi Alfie asked me if I would do the drash for tonight, as she was going to be out of town. I said, yes, of course, happy to do it. Most of you know that I just retired from being a public defender for 35 years, so it should be no surprise that I would love to have the opportunity to once again stand in front of a captive audience and tell them what I think. And you're right. And when Cantor asked me if I would assist her in leading the service, I was even happier, as I would join the bar and bat mitzvah kids before me to do this. Please rise, you may be seated. So this week's parashat is Vayitse, which is translated to, and he left. And this refers to Jacob leaving his hometown of Beersheba and going off to Charon, I believe it's pronounced, where he meets up with his uncle Laban and meets Laban's youngest daughter, the beautiful Rachel. The text says that he immediately loves her. He sees her, kisses her cheek, and then weeps. Some consider this a love story. I thought it was strange and creepy. Of course, this is Genesis, so people tend to marry quickly and often. So, of course, Jacob wants to marry Rachel right away, and he speaks to Laban, who, by the way, was known as a huge liar. So Jacob misses a big biblical red flag when discussing the marriage and says, I want to marry Rachel. Laban says, well, if you work for me for 7 years without pay, I agree to the marriage. So Jacob, the kiss-cheeker and weeper, he says, I'll do that. And 7 years passes, and there's a wedding. Everyone is there, the bride is dressed and veiled, and the ceremony occurs. After the bride and groom retire together and do what married people do in their beds at night after marriage. As you've learned before, this is where the plot thickens or twists depending on which phrase you prefer. The next morning, Jacob wakes up, I assume as a happy groom, turns over to cast his eyes on his new beautiful wife, Rachel, and it turns out that he married her older sister, Leah, who was not known for her great beauty like Rachel. The best that was mustered up in the Bible about Leah is she had beautiful eyes, which I opine that was the she has a great personality line of today. Now keep in mind that Rachel had to have participated in her father's fraud for this to happen. She loved her sister enough to do this freely and helped in having her sister marry the one that she wanted to marry. This is important to remember later on when maybe she rethinks her participation in this fraudulent marriage. So probably that morning, Jacob goes to Laban and says, you tricked me. And Laban says, calm down. You still want to marry Rachel? You can do that. You just have to work for me for 7 years without compensation. And Jacob says, I'll do that. And there's a wedding days after his marriage to Leah. Now, Leah and Rachel are not only sisters, they're wives of the same man. Some may call them sister wives. And no surprise, this was not a calm and happy household. They did not live happily ever after. That's not what happened at all. There was sibling rivalry between Rachel and Leah that was not there previously. After all, as I said earlier, Rachel had participated in her father's fraud as she helped dress and veil Leah for the wedding. She did this to help her sister, knowing that it would bring shame and embarrassment to Leah if Rachel were to marry before her. This care for her sister's feelings she regretted later on. The differences between the two women were out in the open, not hidden, not by talking behind each other's backs. To Rachel, "You are so beautiful." Leah, "You have nice eyes." Rachel, "Jacob desired you and wanted to marry you." Leah, "Jacob had to be tricked in order to get married to you." Leah, "You're a gift from God. You bore 4 sons for Jacob." And Rachel, "You're a disappointment as you're barren." And this is obviously before she had Joseph. Leah became the matriarch of the future of Israel by having 4 sons, and Rachel remained as the present. As Leah declares her joy, praising God, Rachel becomes unhappy. Maybe now Leah is the favorite or preferred wife, because as of yet she had no children. So why focus on this part of the parashat as opposed to Jacob's journey? Because this week is also Thanksgiving, a time where families reunite and get together, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and brothers and sisters. Siblings, often your greatest friends, sometimes your biggest nemeses. How many of you get happy and excited at the prospect of seeing your siblings? How many of us do not look forward to this and instead dread it? Did your parents treat each of you differently? Was there a favorite? Was there a disappointment? So much history, so many stories, so many comparisons made. It can be hard to find joy when the past is painful. Caveat to my brother and sister, there is only joy when we get together. I adore them and wish I could be with them at Thanksgiving, and I think they're watching this on YouTube. But there have been fights and jealousies and comparisons made by our parents that were hurtful when said and when believed. But at least my sister and I did not have to marry the same man. Rachel and Leah, once loving sisters, end up separate and apart from each other, each envious or jealous of what the other had. I think that the lesson that we are meant to take away from Vayetze is this was not a love story between Jacob and Rachel. That was the plan. Be in love, marry, have lots of sons. But often things do not go as planned. Jacob planned to marry Rachel, but he married Leah. He thought he was marrying one woman, and he ended up marrying the older sister. He planned to work for 7 years to marry Rachel, and that plan did not come to fruition. Life does not always go as planned. I hope that for all of you, Thanksgiving was meaningful and a joy, and I hope that when you are together with your siblings, any pain and hurt from the past is now behind you, and what is left is a bond that is stronger than it was before. Shabbat Shalom.
And now, I'd like to invite up our temple president, Jay. Come on up, Jay. I know you have something great to tell us about. I won't correct you at all, because I don't have the sheet in front of me anyway.
This is true. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Rabbi McElhaney, that has a ring to it. Julie, thank you for a wonderful service.
You are very welcome.
I have very few announcements, so it's a good night. Tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. weekly Torah study, which will be in the chapel, in person and on Zoom. And then at 10:30, Shabbat morning service. That's lay-led by Judy and Blair. So 10:30 in the chapel. We start Hanukkah December 7th. We'll have a second Shabbos latke dinner. And we'll also be doing Hanukkah, my eyes are not good, mitzvateka. You also want to visit the Jonas Goldman gift shop. Hanukkah mitzvaka. See, you did.
No, it took
But thank
me a
you.
minute to know. I was trying to think what you were talking about.
So was I.
I love that we're on the same page.
Registration is open for Stars and S'mores, which is CBI's biennial intergenerational members retreat, and that's April 5th through 7th at Camp Newman. I hope you'll take a look at that. And then take a look at the calendar on our website, and you can see all of the great things that are going on. So we have any other board members here? We have a couple board members. We have a couple of people who run committees. We have one past president here. So if you all want to introduce yourselves, that would be great. Two past presidents. Is there a mic? Yes. That's true. Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
Is it not working?
All right, I'm Nita Davison. I'm the Shamas coordinator, and we have openings. So if anyone wants to volunteer on a Friday night, we train you. Everyone here is allowed to, and anyone who is streaming, if you're interested, just let me know.
I'm Barbara Allen Brescher, one of those past presidents. Oh, past Shamas, I don't know, 26 other things.
Louis Nelson, Board of Trustee.
Hi, Bina Lefkowitz, past president.
Judy.
Hi, I'm Judy Emick Leatherwood. I'm chair of the music committee, wrangler for the choir, and I also schedule people to chant Torah, just like Kathy right here is going to do tomorrow morning. So meet me in the chapel, 10:30. She's an incredibly beautiful Torah chanter.
Great, thank you.
Oh, and if you're interested in choir, we'll be starting that in a couple of weeks. Email me as soon as you can.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Yes.
Should I go now? Please rise for the Elenu. On page 586.
You've been waiting the whole
I've been
service
waiting
for that,
this. I've
haven't
been
you?
so excited
know.
for that part.
I almost feel like we should do it again, but we won't. Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol, latet gedula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korein, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, shehu notei shamayim ve'yosed haaretz, u'moshav yakaro b'shamayim ima'ah, u'shchinatu zo, begolfei meromim, hu Eloheinu einot, emet malkeinu efesulato, kakatuv betorato, ve'adata hayom ve'hashevota, el levavecha. Ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim b'shamayim ima'ah ve'al haaretz mitachat einod ve'ne'emar ve'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
Please be seated. Fun. Power.
Our thoughts now turn towards loved ones who are no longer with us. And it is with sadness that we remember the passing of David Hussey, the beloved former husband of Elaine Hussey, beloved father of Rylan Hussey, beloved father-in-law of Kate Hussey, and beloved grandfather of Charlotte Rose Hussey. We also sadly remember the recent passing of Donald Lester Katz, beloved father of Andrew Katz and Amy and Matan Kenigsberg, beloved father-in-law of Sarah Katz and Larry Kenigsberg, beloved father of Sandy Alswang, beloved grandfather of Juliet Elise Katz and Gilad and Sammy Kenigsberg. Zichronam livracha, may their memories forever be a blessing. We also remember loved ones who passed away at this time in years past. We remember Ann Albert, Seymour Bennison, Adrienne Bloom, Katya Goldberg, Bella Forcom, Anita Sampson Friedman, Jack Klein Friedman, Annie Friedman, Doris Gaines, Julia Guy, Blanche Goldstein, Daniel Gorfain, Joseph Green, Sidney Green, Harry Gus, Tilly Hill, Marnie Karnofsky, Irving Kelter, Ben Krasno, Edward Cronick, Emmanuel Lewis, Rose Margolis, Edward Maslowski, Ruth Hahnmeyer, Dale Meyerhoff, Lars Molander, Louise Molander, Jack Nessman, David Pasternak, Lena Pednoff, Linda Poppers, Paula Pulverman, Blanche Purcell, Kenneth Raskin, Mendel Rice, Marlis Reynolds, Shirley Robinson, Albert Rogan, Meyer Rome, Bessie Rosenthal, Marvin Stein, Ruth Sonata, Solomon Warhaftig, and Eileen Weinreb. If there are names of loved ones that you're saying Kaddish for tonight, please feel free to say their names out loud. If you're here tonight to say Kaddish, I'd like to invite you to please rise so that the congregation can join me in these words of comfort. Hamakom yenechem etchem betoch sha'ar avalei Tzion v'Yerushalayim. May God comfort you among the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. We rise as a congregation for the mourners Kaddish, which can be found on page 598. Yitgadal ve'yitgadash shemei rabbah ve'alma divrach hirutei ve'amlich malchutei v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevorach leolam lomei olmaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudsha b'richu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace grant peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. As together we say, Amen. Amen. Please be seated. 642. So we're thinking of how to end our service tonight. And kind of came full circle back around to when we began and talked about being grateful, and being grateful that some of the hostages have been returned home, hopefully in fair health, and will recover. So it seems very appropriate to finish on page 642 with Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai. Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai. I look forward to when we do not have an extra candle on the bima. We've now come to Rabbi Alfie's favorite part of the service. No, that didn't get a bigger laugh. I'm so shocked.
Now it did.
I'm gonna have to tell her that. We continue with the Kiddush and the Motzi on page 120. Oh, sorry.
123.
That's your job.
That is my job.
Wow.
My job's almost over, but it's still my job.
It's still your job. Oh, it's good. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotov v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikrai kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu vakarta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim ve'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Shalom.
Very sweet.
Wow.
I'm either all the way in or all the way out.
So this is our stunt challah, not to be enjoyed by eating. It actually dented a little bit. But we bless the stunt challah, and at the oneg that I hope everyone will join us, in the social hall, we will have fresh, delightful challah, among other good treats. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom v'tevon.